Good day to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in once again to the MRC E-Challenge on Sim Broadcast. Today we have round 3 at the Portland E-Prix Circuit. I am joined today by Peter Butcher in the background and Zdeněk Cagaš once again. Gentlemen, welcome. We had a lot of exciting action 2 weeks ago. I expect more today.
Oh, good evening. We will have surely some interesting action ahead of us. This circuit is unlike any other we have seen so far. Portland is very specific, so let's go.
Yeah, another real-life layout, expertly done. There you can see today, round 3 at the Portland E-Prix Circuit. Rain often features in the actual geographic region, Oregon in the northwest United States. Will it feature today? That remains to be seen. In the background, no rain, dry right now, but weather was a factor in the event a couple weeks ago. Could be again today. We'll have to wait and see what unfolds. Quickly on the screen was the map of the Portland E-Prix Circuit. We'll come back to that in a moment. There you can see, once again, the cars that we're using today, the E-Challenger EVO all-wheel drive car for qualifying in the sprint race, the rear-wheel drive car used during the feature race. And once again, these cars can go through the attack boost section, which I believe is outside turn 7 today, coming onto the back straight for an additional 50 horsepower. There it is, outside of turn 7 for an additional 50 horsepower that drivers are able to use for a few minutes to attack their competitors. Waiting in the background for the open qualifying session to come up. Stories today, Zdeněk, biggest one, is that Imran Azar, not here, will not be able to close the championship gap, the points gap to Gabber, who leads the championship today.
Indeed, this will be a big impact on his championship chances. So yeah, that's a big one. I have one thing to add about the weather though, because on the race forums there was a post with the weather forecast, and it said that today there will be no rain, clear skies, and very low wind. So I guess we have only dry races ahead of us today.
As usual, my co-commentator is doing a little bit more homework than I have. You've heard it from Zdeněk. No rain today, should be dry running. There you can see the championship standings on the screen. Once again, Gabber leading from Imran Azar. Now we're going through page 2, positions 21 down to 28, and now 41 down to 60. Lots of competitors so far in this championship, but once again, Gabber at the top and will be, at the very least, maintaining his lead. Fully expect that Gabber will finish, Gabber will get points no matter what today, so he will be able to extend his lead on Imran Azar. There you can see the team's championship standings. Sidus well clear of Race Green Autosports in second. Yes Motorsport there in third, with Zafaralis in fourth, Sosiski in fifth. And then you can see the remaining teams all the way down to Tav Racing in ninth. 0 points, unfortunate for them. So still waiting in the background for the open qualifying session to come up. Hearing now 30 seconds till the green light, so we'll be on track in just a few moments. Zdeněk, while we're waiting for open qualifying to come up, let's make some predictions. Before Gabber popped into the server just a few minutes ago, I thought it was looking like it looked like a Careless Machiotis win could be on. I expect Gabber will spoil that, bar some bad luck, but I think we might see Gabber at the top once again. Carlos Machiotis figuring in, and then we got a few other quick drivers in there. Who's your pick today?
Well, honestly, I'm going to go with Gabber. I think there's no other choice. But as you said, Carlos Machiotis in a second, and then it's going to be anyone's game. But Podium could be Cyril Bisset, who did very well in the last event.
Yeah, Cyril's put in a lot of time, been getting gradually quicker as he participates in these E-Challenge events. And he's always a nice voice, stops in to talk to us at the end of the day. Hopefully he'll be chatting with us from the podium or after the podium at the conclusion of today's event. Cars on track now, about 40 seconds gone from the 40 seconds from the beginning of the open qualifying session. You can see one car, does that say Yes Motorsports? I think that's Careless, who is letting another car through. So cars on their out laps right now. Should see flying laps coming up shortly. First car down the back straight is Daniel Orlov, first one out. He will be the first one to start a flying lap. Behind him, Gabber in the German. The German Sebastian Vettel inspired livery. And that's Cyril Bisset, not Carlos Machiotis behind him. So first 3 cars coming across the line now to start their first flying laps of the open qualifying session.
Yeah, so far we have 11 cars on the track who have joined the server and are taking part in this qualifying. We are still waiting. There might be some more drivers coming in, but and we hope they come. But still, as usual, these races tend to provide a lot of action and excitement, even when there's only a handful of drivers. So let's see how they do in qualifying. As we are watching Gabor on his first hot lap, and we switch to Orlov, who is just ahead of him, making his first meters on in this qualifying. I'm going to observe the split times, as I'm also freshly joined on the server and I haven't seen the proper timing from the drivers. So let's see how he does. His time will be just over 1 minute, and it will be about 1 minute and 5 seconds and 32 hundredths of a second.
1 minute 5, 32 hundredths for Daniel Orlov. Gabor only slightly quicker, minute 5.06. So Daniel Orlov setting good pace early on. That is Cyril Bisset, who has just crossed the line. Looks like he ducked into the pits before he crossed the line. That was Mika Sarkkinen we jumped to. I thought that was Cyril Bisset. So Gabor at the top, minute 5.06 seconds, minute 5.32 for Daniel Orlov. Also in the minute 5, Silva Agostinho there, just a tenth and change behind Daniel Orlov. Cyril Bisset did cross the line. I think he crossed the line as he was coming through pit lane because he's 2 seconds down. That would be consistent with where he is on track and the fact that he actually put in a time. Here we have the VR onboard from Mika Sarkkinen. Really enjoy these shots from him, so we thank him for providing the onboard for us. Mika Sarkkinen coming across the line in 7th position. Meanwhile, Timo Sarkkinen in the 69 machine, minute 4.81, well clear of Gabor, 2.5 tenths. Timo Sarkkinen setting very good pace early on, and on I'm going to say this is a rather surprising provisional pole position. Well, not pole position, a provisional first position going into the dual qualifying.
It is. Well, we still have 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We will see how they do. But I think this track, with the long straights it has, might play a bit more bigger role in the energy saving, because as you know, there is a lot of energy saving during the races, and especially during the feature race. And due to the long straights, drivers will have to juggle the energy saving a bit more with how fast they go, because they don't want to go too slow on the straights.
Yeah, it's a very good observation. Front and back straight, both so long. On throttle for such a long time to carry the car, carry speed, and not lose time down these straights. But as you said, a very delicate balance, managing the energy while also powering the car down that straight. Speaking of powering down the straight, Carlos Machiotis out of the last corner now, should be coming across the line. This may be to start. No, this was not to start a flying lap. He concluded a flying lap, 1.5 seconds behind Timo Sarkkinen. Still at the top as we jump on board with Gabor, who is coming through the, we'll call it the infield now. He's just gone through turn 7 onto this very long, hardly a straight. It is somewhat curved, but full throttle, wide open section. You see the signboards on the left, quick jab of the brakes, and flick the car through this left-right fast chicane. Car sliding on the brakes, just missing the tires on the outside of the entry, a little bit wide of the apex. And now Gabor, a little bit of a slipstream coming to the start-finish line. Can he eclipse the top spot? The answer is no. Oh, yes. Slight delay there on the timing. Gabor now much quicker than he was before. Gains nearly a full second, 8 tenths. Goes to the tip top. Silva Agostinho there in 4th, still on minute 5.45 as he comes through.
What a gap it is, indeed. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, Gabor, minute 4.45. Very, very strong time from him, as Nico Patola has pipped the 3rd spot up to just 7 tenths behind Gabor. So a little bit past halfway in the session as we watch Carlos negotiating turns 5, 6, coming up to 7 in just a moment after he gets through this long left-hander. Top spot, Gabor. with minute 4.45. Timo Sarkkinen, 0.36 seconds behind him, ahead of Nico Pantola. Daniel Orlov behind him, Silva Agostino rounding out the top 5. Ronen Kronpush, then Carlos Machiotis. Cyril Bisset, the last of the drivers who will come through into dual qualifying as they run right now. Still plenty of time for drivers to come out, do another outlap, and set another flying lap as we watch Carlos come through the last corner.
Yes, Silva Agostino pops into the second place, just 12 hundredths behind Gabor.
Carlos starting a flying lap now, nice and clean through the final corner, over the bump. And now approaching braking here, he turns the car in for this relatively slow chicane. Not quite Monza first chicane slow, but certainly slower than the rest of the corners on the circuit. On throttle, dabs the brakes at the 50, nice and tight to the tires. One long arcing triple apex corner here, a little bit tighter here. Wants the car on the right side of the road before he dabs the brakes for this long sweeping left-hand corner, and then kind of an awkward kink into the right-hand turn 7. He'll turn in right past the 50 board. Nice job on the brakes, get the rear of the car to rotate, tight to the tires, very nice exit. And now on his way down this back straightaway, wants to keep the car nice and tight to the wall, make the track as short as he possibly can, over the bump. Now you can see the sideboards on the left, there past the light, jab the brakes, pitch the car into the left, to the right, just missed the tires, rear of the car sliding as he's on the brakes, gets it slowed down nicely, a little bit wide to the apex, but not quite as wide as Gabor was earlier. Silva Agostino coming into the pits, don't think he'll have enough time to start another flying lap. And will Carlos improve as he comes across the line? The answer is yes. Up to third position. Great lap in the minute 4s from him. Nice improvement.
Yes, Motorsports, yes for improvement. Very nicely done. I do wonder though, we have one driver with VR on our stream. If we ever have a chance to watch his VR stream in a full screen, that would be really awesome. I'm not going to say it's going to happen today, but maybe one day.
Yeah, that's I think you've thrown down a challenge for our production team in the background. We'll see if we have to wait for another day or if Pete can cook something up in the background. Mika Sarkkinen improves slightly. I believe he was 10th and up to 9th. Still 2.6 seconds off the lead. Jevin Jakob, who we have not seen, or we did not see last week anyway, in 11th, well off the pace, far enough off the pace that he may, it's possible that his participation may come at the discretion of the stewards. Not a slow driver by any stretch of the imagination. Jevin Jakob, known as Redbot, featured prominently in BF1's MRC BF1 seasons a couple years ago. Believe he got a race win in one event, but I can't remember which one. Jevin Jakob, not a slow driver by any stretch. Looks like he is just coming to grips with the E-Challenger today at Portland, but a very strong driver in his own right.
Yeah, so far we have quite a big spread. Top 6 is within 1 second, but then it's 7/10 of a second to Ronnie, and another 6/10 of a second to Cyril Bisset, who finds himself down in 8th place. And then it's half a second, 7/10 of a second to Stephen Martin. And Jeffin Jacob in 11th place is going to improve for sure, as we have seen Ronnie crashing into the tires somewhere.
Yeah, Ronnie was starting a flying lap and a little bit too much rear bias. It looked like the rear of the car swept around. He went sideways through the tire barriers at the first chicane. So we cut back to Jevin Jakob, who is tentatively coming through the final chicane and the last corner. Neatly on the power, he will be the last car across the line to set a flying lap. We'll see if he can improve from a minute 11.7. Under the bridge now, over the bump, and big improvement, minute 9.73, still 11th position, well off the pace of everybody else, but a nearly 2-second improvement. We can see that Jevin Jakob is getting to grips with this car very quickly. There you can see the qualifying results. The top 8 will move on to dual qualifying. First position, Gabor, minute 4.45. Silva Agostino, second, just a 10th and a bit behind. Carlos Machiotis in third. Timo Sarkkinen in fourth. Nico Pantola fifth. Daniel Orlov sixth, followed by Ronen Kronpush. Cyril Bisset rounding out the top 8. These are the drivers we will see in just a few moments in dual qualifying.
We also can see the rescue car doing laps in 49 days. So that's about 1 day of work, 2 days of work at the track. Yeah. Well done.
Get off the track, Rick. You are a hazard. 11 drivers, in case it wasn't clear to all of our viewers. Zdeněk and I poking fun at Rick there. 11 drivers participating today. Again, big improvement from Jeff and Jakob. I think we'll see better pace from him in the sprint race. But Gabber, top spot, will be the lead dual qualifier. Cyril Basset, the slowest of the dual qualifiers. He and Gabber will meet. Ronnie Krompusch and Silva Agostino will be the we'll have a matchup. Daniel Orlov and Carlos Machiotis will face one another. And the last dual matchup in the first round will be Nico Pantola and Timo Sarkkinen. Fin on fin violence, Zdeněk.
A very violent fight it will be, yes. But Cyril, I'm still salty about my bet on Cyril because I hope he will improve. Although in qualifying in his duel with Gabor, I doubt he will beat him. But we'll see. Maybe Gabor will make a mistake. Sorry, Cyril.
Gabber. Sorry, Cyril. Sorry, also Gabber. But it wouldn't be the first time we saw mistakes out of Gabber. Last week in dual qualifying, we saw Gabber just barely get away with a mistake. He set a lap well off the pace that we expected him to see. But his challenger, who I cannot recall right now, made a similar but slightly worse mistake, spared Gabber the embarrassment of being relegated down the order, was able to proceed from his first round matchup into the semifinals and then ultimately to the final. Session beginning in the background for dual qualifying. We should see matchups in just a moment. I may have called this incorrectly. I think they just swapped the clock around and we're not actually ready for duels yet. We will take a break for just a moment while we wait to get the dual matchups fully sorted out and on screen. And then we'll be back to show duels. And just like that, we are back. Had to take a very brief respite there for a moment. Cars lined up at the end of pit lane. There are your dual matchups. Gabber on Cyril Basset first. Gabber has just left the end of pit lane and is negotiating the first chicane right now. The next duel will be Timo Sarkkinen and Nico Pantola, followed by Carlos Machiotis and Daniel Orlov, followed by Silva Agostino and Ronnie Krompusch, the last of the first round duels. Gabber winding up now out of the final corner. Oh, sorry, not out of the final corner. I misjudged where I was looking at on circuit. Gabber approaching turn 7 right now, and will be coming down this back straightaway. Wants to get plenty of heat in the tires. Zdeněk, I don't expect we'll see Gabber make the same mistakes today that he made 2 weeks ago, but anything can happen. I know Cyril Basset is your dark horse for the day, but it looks a little bit grim as it runs.
Well, as you said, anything can happen. I do remember this track from way back when I was racing in some series and R Factor a long time ago. And some turns really gave me a headache because especially the fast chicane towards the end of the track, as we see Cyril make the mistake in exactly that part I'm just talking about, tends to make the track a lot more difficult if you get it wrong.
Yes, indeed. And I think the unique challenge of this track is the combination of how flat it is. There are no undulations, no elevation changes whatsoever, bar perhaps a little bit of banking or contour in some of these corners. In the real circuit, oh no, Gabber in the background, he's made that mistake. Zdeněk, he's gone wide. That was in turn, it would have been 4 and 5. The rear of the car slid away. He went out, hit the tire barriers over some of the sausage curbs. That will have cost him a second and a half at least, perhaps more. Cyril made that mistake out of the final corner to start his lap, but it didn't affect the beginning of the lap. Cyril, the rear of the car all over the place, but still well within the confines of the circuit. This could be Gabber out unless he finds a lot of time in the last part of the lap, and Cyril Basset keeps it clean.
As we see, nice little feature, a new feature on the screen where we see split times of the both drivers, and Cyril is still 1 second and 4 tenths ahead of Gabor on second split. Gabor crosses the line. Now it's 1:06.99, and now it's up to Cyril to finish his job. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, we didn't see how he was through the final chicane, but looking pretty clean. Cyril Bisset stuns Gabber, gives away a second, but not a second and a half. Cyril Bisset wins the duel after Gabber makes a crucial mistake through turns 4 or 5, approaching turn 6. Cyril Bisset through to the semifinals. Unbelievable as Timo Sarkkinen comes out on circuit. Now, behind him, we will have... help me, Zdeněk. I don't remember who Timo Sarkkinen is dueling against, but Timo out on circuit now.
I'm checking now. It's Timo Sarkkinen and Nico Puntola.
Nico Puntola, thank you. Yeah, Nico Puntola waiting, leaving plenty of gap. Probably saw what happened to Gabber and decided he didn't want anything like that to potentially affect him on his flying lap. Nice, easy start from Nico Puntola as Timo Sarkkinen is coming around turn 7, through turn 7 now, and that small kink onto the back straightaway. Timo through the final chicane now as we look back to Nico. Nico, aggressive tire warming technique, the rear of the car just breaking away as we cut away from him. Timo Sarkkinen out against the wall, nice and smooth exit, keeping that extra horsepower well under control. All-wheel drive helping keep this car firmly planted. Approaching the first chicane now, hard on the brakes, nice and tidy through turn 1, now turn 2, tight to the tires, no drama at the rear of the car, using all of the road on the exit, just missed the tires. Clean so far from Timo Sarkkinen. This very challenging triple apex right-hand corner. Oh, rear of the car just catches one of the tires. That won't cost him too much time. Into turn 6. Now has it nice and clean over the virtual curbing there on the brakes through turn 7. Rear of the car complying very well. The front a little bit wide of the apex, but clean on the exit, using all of the tarmac available to him. And now he streaks away down the back straight, Zdeněk.
Yeah, still first 2 splits coming online as Nico is taking his time with his lap. It's gonna take a longer while before he sees his time, and it's 8/10 down on Teemu. It's very interesting. Teemu is finishing his lap right now, crosses the line just now, and his time is 1:04.89. Nico is going to the second split, and it's still 1 second down, full 1 second down, and some more. So this is gonna go Teemu's way.
Yeah, I don't see Nico making up this time in the final corner. He looked very tentative through the first half of the lap. The car appeared to be complying pretty well, but Nico just not driving it as hard as Timo Sarkkinen was. Minute 4.89 for Timo Sarkkinen. He will almost certainly proceed to the semifinal as Nico Puntola crosses the line, minute 5.76. We now have Daniel Orlov lined up at the end of pit lane with behind him
Carlos Matagiotis.
Carlos Matagiotis. Sorry, Carlos Matagiotis out on track. Daniel Orlov behind him. Thank you, Zdeněk.
Yes, certainly. It's going to be a bit more interesting fight for the pole as we have lost Gabor in the quarterfinals. And this is the third duel of the quarterfinals with Carlos first on track. He's going to try and go to the semifinals, as this gives him a bigger chance for the pole position.
Yeah, and at this point, Carlos should realize he is quick enough. He was quite a bit quicker than Daniel Orlov in the open qualifying session. He knows he's not going to be competing against Gabber. Timo Sarkkinen certainly no slouch, setting very good times. But Carlos, I think, can afford to be a little bit conservative here. Drive 99.5%. Keep it clean. Dangerously wide on the exit of the fast final chicane coming into the last corner. Gets it inside the lines and the tires, and sends the car flying down the main straightaway. As I was saying, Carlos, I think he can afford to be a little bit conservative. He just needs to set a good time and get through to the next round. Right now, he and Timo Sarkkinen, the class of the field, as he comes through turn 3 out of the first chicane right now and approaches the 4-5-6 complex.
Yeah, it's a long right-hander which goes on forever, and then it's followed by a tighter left-hander which opens up and turned
I think I think Zdeněk having some audio difficulties there. We'll keep an eye on him and make sure that he is okay. Careless coming into this fast chicane now on the brakes, not quite as wide as he was on his out lap, but nice and tidy. The rear of the car just getting away from him on the very edge of adhesion at the rear tires. The front, the all-wheel drive, helping drag the car ahead of those rear wheels. Carlos Machaiotis, minute 4.93 seconds. Strong time from him as we wait for Daniel Orlov to come out of the final corner now. Streaks under the bridge. We wait for him to come over the bump and cross the line. He was down more than a second through the second split and made up some time in the final sector, but still a second slower than Carlos Machaiotis. Now we look to the final duel. Silva Agostinho out on circuit now. There we go. Zdeněk, I think, is back with us in the background. Silva Agostinho out on circuit. Ronan Kronpush leaving pit lane now. Welcome back, Zdeněk.
Yeah, it was a bit troubling moment with the internet, but I'm sure it will be fine now.
You sound as amazing as always.
Well, thank you. Well, we are watching Silva Agostinho from race green on his out lap, I believe, as I wasn't paying attention for a while, but I do believe it's an out lap. Correct me
Yes,
if I'm
indeed.
wrong.
Yeah, you are correct. Through turn 7 and onto the back straight now.
Okay, and it's a quarter-final duel. It's a team-killing duel. Boss versus his minion, but his minion is actually faster than his boss.
Yeah, I believe that's usually the case too. You can see the slightly darker British racing green, or British race green. We'll say British race green motorsports. As Silva Agostinho has taken his time on his outlap, Rody Kronpush catching him up rather quickly. Rony a bit wide of the apex in the final corner. Silva not that far up the road. Comes across the line to start his flying lap on the brakes into the first chicane now. Neatly negotiated. Nice onboard view from Silva. Easy on the power. Nice and tight to the tires there. An unchallenging right-hand sweep. Unlike this, turn 4. Long corner that goes on forever, as Zdeněk said a minute ago. Rear of the car getting away from him, so he's very wide around turn 5. This is a great opportunity for Rony to make up some time on him, though Rony is having some challenges of his own. The rear of the car not complying for Rony behind him. Both of these drivers struggling for rear grip. Rony using all of the lock that he can to try to get the car to comply. Rear getting away and then front not working with him. So Rony having a bit of a mare. Wide on the exit. Yeah, tough lap so far from Ronan Kronpush. Not a bad first split from Silva. The car was getting away from him in turns 4, 5, approaching turn 6, but he seems to have gathered it up. Ronan Kronpush 7/10 down. So it looks like Silva Agostinho, as they run, will win this duel. Looking at Ronan Kronpush negotiate this chicane and the final corner. Bit wide into the last corner and out to the wall now. Silva Agostinho, not a very quick lap. Minute 5.18. Will it be quicker than Ronan Kronpush? Wait for him to cross the line now. And the answer is yes, a full second and then some quicker. Rony flicks the car in frustration and goes backward into the first chicane.
Yeah, that was not really a good second split, which really cost him the whole lap. And Silva Agostinho deservedly going through the semifinals. Just a small reminder, during qualifying duels and sprint race, we are using the four-wheel drive version of the car, which does not have energy regeneration. And in the feature race, we will have the rear-wheel drive version of the car, which does have energy regeneration, and it's more suitable for the longer races.
Yes, indeed. That energy regeneration, as Zdeněk mentioned, features prominently in the feature race. Drivers have to so carefully manage their energy in order to get the car to the end of the race while also driving as quickly as they can to stay ahead of their competitors. We'll remind everybody while we wait for the second round, the semifinal round of duels to come up. Imran Nazar, the master of energy management, not participating today, was unable to join. So Gabber, who was eliminated in the first round of duels with Cyril Basset. Cyril Basset advanced. Gabber will be extending his championship lead today. Once again, no Imran Azar there as we wait for the next round of duels to begin in the background. You can see the circuit, the Portland E-Prix Circuit, very precisely recreated from the actual Portland International Raceway in Portland, Oregon, in the northwest of the United States. 12 corners, very challenging circuit, flat, long sweeping corners. So far proved a bit hairy for all of the challengers. And there, once again, you can see the lineup. first round of duels, Cyril Basset, Timo Sarkkinen, Carlos Macioidas, and Silva Agostino advancing. And the next duel, the semifinal duels are beginning now. Cyril Basset on circuit. He will be dueling Timo Sarkkinen. Zdeněk, that was a mouthful.
Indeed, it was. I'm wondering if I'm gonna jinx another favorite by picking Cyril Basset. Maybe he will make it to the finals. Let's see.
Well, it will be a challenge for him because Timo Sarkkinen has so far been the quickest of the drivers who have not demonstrated any difficulty getting around the track. Cyril, nice and clean, set a good lap in his duel. Gabber gave away the duel victory on a crucial mistake in turns 4 and 5, but Cyril Basset was by no means slow on his duel lap, but Timo Sarkkinen has been so quick. Looking at him now coming into turn 7, you can see on the outside, we just flashed over it as he came by. That's where the attack zone will be in the sprint and feature races. Outside of turn 7, they'll be able to use that extra power all the way down to the back straightaway here. And now Zdeněk Cyril Basset coming out of the final corner to wind up his flying lap.
And it's gonna be some lap, I hope, as we are watching Teemu, and he's going for the long start-finish straight across the line now, and the time is on. Cyril Basset is going to do the same shortly as he goes through the... Oh, sorry. Cyril is already on closing on the first split, and we are going to see his split very soon. And it's 24.5, which is not really bad.
No, it's not. Timo Sarkkinen coming through turn 5 now, about to jump on the brakes for 6, 24.2 for Timo Sarkkinen. So Timo Sarkkinen 3/10 quicker than Cyril Basset. Timo Sarkkinen coming into turn 7 now. Cyril Basset already on his way halfway down the backstretch and about to jump on the brakes for this turn 8. And now 9. Just misses the tires, a little bit wide exit there. He gets the front of the car down nicely to the white line at the apex of the final corner. Power down nicely using all of the road on the exit. We've seen drivers taking a slightly narrower exit out of that corner. Now we can see the deep shot down the front straightaway. Cyril Basset lost a lot of time in the final sector. His split, too, was fantastic. Well, not fantastic, but certainly not bad. But through the start-finish line, a second slower than Timo Sarkkinen, who goes to minute 4.58, only a 10th off Gabber's open qualifying time. So right now, Timo Sarkkinen appearing to be the class of the field, Zdeněk.
Still, I would commend Cyril's improvement from qualifying. I don't know how much practice he did, because I'm going to ask him after the race if we have the chance. But he improved quite a bit from his qualifying time, so maybe there are still some surprises in him.
Could be, perhaps. Watching Carlos Macioidas coming through turns 4 and 5 now on his warm-up lap. Carlos looking for a good result today. He has Gabber well behind him down the order after losing his qualifying duel to Cyril Basset, who we just saw dispatched in the semifinals, falling to Timo Sarkkinen. Carlos Macioidas through this little kink now and onto the back straightaway, quick in the open qualifying session. Though he is up against Silva Agostino, who is also rather quick. So a very competitive duel here as Carlos negotiates the final chicane. On the brakes for the final corner, he wants a good exit, get the power down, slows the car down nicely so he can open up the exit. He should carry a lot of speed down the front straightaway. Flashes under the bridge, looking for the car to jump over the bump. Now, that marks the start-finish line, and now Carlos on his flying lap into the first corner.
Yeah, nice shot of this chicane as we are watching him exit this section. Slight braking into the next turn, and a nice almost four-wheel drift, it looked like, into this long right-hander, and closing on the first split, and we are expecting it now, and it's 24.24.
Very quick first split time. Nicely done from Carlos Macioidas. Very smooth through all of these corners. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit. Silva Agostino coming through turns 4 and 5 now. Equally smooth. Looks like it could be just as quick. A little bit wide of the apexes is Silva Agostino. Rear of the car not wanting to comply here, and then the front not biting when he gets it under control. So Silva Agostino down half a second as we look forward once again to Carlos Maciotis, the rear of the car. Nice four-wheel drift through the final corner. Carlos just has this car under control as he comes under the second of these front straightaway bridges now over the bump to complete his lap. Minute 4.48. Brilliant time from Carlos Maciotis. And Silva Agostino is 5/10, a little more than half a second down through the second split. Needs a blinder of a final sector if he wants to overtake Carlos Maciotis and advance into the dual final. Under one bridge, down the straightaway now. Coming to the second one, the time will be minute 4.84. He found a lot of time in the final sector, but not enough to upend Carlos Maciotis. Carlos Maciotis will advance to the dual final.
Yeah, and there will be some final because the first two drivers going through are just 1/10 of a second apart. So they will have us provided with some show.
Yes, they will. The final will be not Silva Agostino, Timo Sarkkinen against Carlos Maciotis. They'll be asked to line up at the end of pit lane in just a moment. And, well, Cyril Bisset was looking good through the first duel. That prediction has not come true, I'm sorry to say, Zdeněk. However, we do have, I think this is a new matchup in a dual final for the MRC series. Timo Sarkkinen on Carlos Maciotis, both of them clearly getting the better of the Portland E-Prix Circuit today. Both of them comfortable, both of them quick. And we look forward to a very exciting dual final coming up in just a minute.
Indeed. We usually have Gabor in the finals with somebody. Now it's Gabor out in 8th place. Oh, I don't know what place he will start actually, because I don't really see into the complexion of this system. But still, we have 3rd and 4th place from qualifying in the finals, which is really unusual.
Perhaps 8th, but definitely not 1st. There, Carlos Maciotis and Timo Sarkkinen in the background, asked to reverse order. I think both of them came out to the red light, and then I think they misunderstood the instructions, but in the proper order now. There we can see looking toward the light at the end of pit lane. They will be asked to leave in just a moment. And then the duels will be on. Here we go. The red, white, and black. Let's say the white, red, and black. White features prominently on this car, though these two have similar liveries. Timo Sarkkinen out of pits now through turns 1 and 2, out of this chicane, warming up the tires to begin his duel against Carlos Maciotis, who has left pit lane just behind him.
Just a bit technical info, or rather weather info. We have a slight wind, 15 kilometers per hour crossing from left to right on the start-finish line. So the drivers will have to deal with it not on the straight, but in some turns.
Yeah, that might explain some of the difficulty drivers have had through turns 4 and 5, because that means that we'll be blowing the cars out to the exit of the corner, and then they'll be carrying a tailwind through turn 6 and then down to turn 7. So the car won't want to turn in quite as well. Timo Sarkkinen into the final corner now. Nice input there, steering the car hard into the final corner, loading up the front really well and then using the power. Nice wide exit, easily on the power, no wheel spin. Over the bump, across the line, hard on the brakes. Now you can see the front of the car diving as he comes through the deep shot. Very clean through the first corner and second. Tight to the tires as we look in the background for Carlos Maciotis to start his flying lap now.
As he does so, Timo Sarkkinen is already on his hot lap, and he uses every inch of the exit of this turn, and does it very well. But next 2 turns, not so good. He's maybe had a bit more wide entry into the next turn, which tightens to the left. So let's see how his split is. 24.44, which is a bit slower than in his previous run. And then we see Carlos 3/10 up on his run, which is a lot. Let's see how Timo responds, if he can keep his lap clean to the end. Nicely done. A very wide exit of the penultimate turn and onto the start-finish straight. And Carlos is still 4/10 up. He improved he made his gap bigger, let's say. Timo is crossing the line, and it's 1.14.61, and it's not as fast as it should be, I think. Let's see how Carlos does. He's coming close to the start-finish line. He crosses it now, and it's 100th of a second slower.
Yeah, Careless was so good. I believe that's the fastest split one and split two we have seen so far today. But Careless, he was a little bit late on the brakes. The rear of the car got away from him. He was so wide out of the final corner and just couldn't get the car away quickly enough. Timo Sarkkinen takes pole position, 1/100th of a second from Carlos Magiotis, who looked like he was on for pole position. It was a brilliant lap up until the final corner when it just got away from him. Once again, Timo Sarkkinen through will take pole position. We'll start from pole position in the sprint race coming up shortly from Carlos Magiotis, and we will set the rest of the order in just a moment. Zdeněk, even with only 11 drivers, there is no shortage of excitement, and we have not even gotten to the sprint race yet.
As I said, I have gotten used to it because even though, as you said, not many drivers participate in this event, it's always something to look at and always something to talk about. And this is one big talking point because that is a chance blown by Carlos because he had it on the plate, silver plate, and he's not going to take the pole. It's usually Gabor or somebody else, not these guys, and it's not going to be him today. It's Teemu Sarkkinen.
Yes, it is. An exciting variation on the starting order today. A new one, a new pole sitter, Timo Sarkkinen ahead of Carlos Magiotis. The organizers in the background, there's a reason why we don't show some of these things on stream. I'm going to paraphrase. The organizers giving Carlos Magiotis a hard time. Looked like he was on for pole position and just missed it with a, well, in the estimation of his peers, a bonehead mistake out of the final corner. He shouldn't beat himself up too badly. He is obviously very quick, has the measure of this car on this circuit today. We expect him to be strong in the sprint race and then in the feature. But one more time, Timo Sarkkinen on pole position. Hats off to him for a clean performance in open qualifying and then the duels. We will take a break for just a moment while we get the order set. Positions 1 through 8, we know the first two. We need to set the rest of them, and then we will get ready for the sprint race coming up in a few moments' time. Welcome back, E-Challenge fans, to round 3 of the MRC E-Challenge season at the Portland E-Prix Circuit here on Sim Broadcasts. My name is Travis Mehlinger. I'm joined by Zdeněk, Cagaš in the booth once again. We've got Pete in the background. There you can see the schedule for the remainder of the season. Round 3 today, rounds 4 and 5 coming 2 weeks apart from today. There you can see the track map in the background. We have the grid set and drivers mostly ready up, so we should be on in about 1 minute to begin the sprint race. On pole position, we'll have Timo Sarkkinen. Surprise with Gabber making a mistake, losing to Cyril Basset in his duel. Cyril Basset starting 4th, Gabber starting 5th, not all the way down at 8th, but still not where we are accustomed to seeing him at the top of the order. We'll do the grid presentation in just a moment before the lights come up. There you can see the map on screen and the schedule, the event format for today. Starting in just a few moments, we will begin the sprint race. And Zdeněk, tell us a little bit about the machines that we're using, the constraints, the rules for the sprint race.
Indeed, we have a four-wheel drive version of the car of the E-Challenger EVO, which has a same size of the battery, same power as the rear-wheel drive, but it has no recharging of the energy. In sprint, there is one boost activation during the race, which you have to use under any circumstances, but there's some limit as to in which laps you can use it. I think it's 2 laps after the start. Am I right?
I think it's 2 laps after the start, and then before 2 laps from the finish is when drivers have to go through the attack zone.
Indeed, and did I say the attack zone is in turn 7? If not, then it's in turn 7 on the outside. And so the sprint is 12 laps, and the drivers have 10 laps to complete the boost. As we are going for the grid presentation.
Yeah, approaching the front of the grid now on the right side. Pole sitter today, winner of the duels, Timo Sarkkinen, alongside a similarly colored, though in different configuration, red, white, and black, Carlos Macioides. On the second row of the grid, right side of your screen, left side of the grid, Silva Agostinho in the British race green motorsports machine. Cyril Basset outside of the second row. Next, we have Gabber starting in 5th position, lost first round duel to Cyril Basset. Alongside will be usual teammate driving for Pacific Tech today, Nico Pantola. Behind them, the blue machine of Daniel Orlov, alongside 8th place finisher in the sprints, in the qualifying duels, Roni Kronpusch, the other race green driver. Mika Sarkkinen in the number 13 begins the 5th row of the grid with Stephen Martin in the fuchsia and the magenta, and white machine. And on the last row of the grid, not super quick in practice and qualifying, but building pace as he goes, Jeff and Jacob in the number 27 on the back row. And now the grid presentation completed. We can see the course car at the back. We should have the lights coming up in just a moment. Before they come up, quick predictions, Zdeněk. Oh, sorry, they're coming up now. We'll get to predictions in just a moment. 5 lights not yet illuminated. The first one on, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th now. Wait to see how long they hold. It was pretty long in the feature race last week. Quick one today. Cars are away. Timo Sarkkinen getting away nicely from the line with Carlos Macioides alongside, falling behind. They should be. We got 2, 3 wide into the first corner. Now 2 by 2 as they come through the second apex. Somebody into the stack of tires, but it looks like all cars away cleanly. Oop, wheel spin from, that was Nico Pantola alongside Roni Kronpusch, but everybody through cleanly into turns 4 and 5. Nice start from all of these drivers, Zdeněk.
Indeed, and I probably made a mistake as we see the race is actually 13 laps, so apologies for that. As we see, Carlos Macioides is actually trying to make a move, or at least closing in on the leader, and he's in the draft for the back straight right now. Probably not close enough for attack, but quite close he is. Nico Pantola on the Roni Kronpusch in his really green livery, but into this section it's really not advised to overtake unless you have a big he hits the tire and goes wide, and there's another car going. Oh my god, all sort of stuff is happening. Everybody are losing it in the chicane, and they are all through okay, but they lost some time. They lost a lot of time.
Yeah, chaos coming through the final corners. Looked like Mika Sarkkinen ended up wide and over the sausage curbs. Nico Patola over the sausage curbs on the opposite side of the circuit, and the order being shuffled pretty significantly. Timo Sarkkinen leads the first lap of the race. Carlos Machiotis, Cyril Basset up to third behind him, ahead of Silvio Agostino, down one position. Gabber still in fifth. And then down the order, we just saw the big shuffle with cars all over the track and around it. Ooh, Gabber into the back of Silvio Agostino there, just reminding him that he's there and quicker and perhaps a little bit frustrated. They go through turn, we call this the back straight, but it's actually officially turn 9. We've missed that up to this point, approaching turn 10 and 11. Fast chicane now. You can see the onboard there in the inlay.
Oh no.
Yeah, Gabber having a mare of a time, Zdeněk, up and over the curbs. Not Gabber's day so far.
Yeah, I was just about to say that there's already a gap from fourth to third, but it's not going to concern him now because he's lost 3 positions, is it? 2 positions, actually. And
yes,
attack mode is enabled. Oh, Ronnie spins. Ronnie almost spins. He half spins and lets Gabber through. So that's 1 position plus for Gabber after the mistake few turns back. As I was about to say, the attack mode is now enabled and drivers can use it. So let's see who's first.
Yeah, Ronnie should be glad that the rules dictate no chat because he is no stranger to Gabber's abuse in in-game chat, spinning right in front of Gabber, nearly taking them both out, though Gabber managed to get away.
Yeah.
Reclaiming one of those positions left. Sorry, go ahead.
Orlov and Agostino already using their attack boost. Gabber got through to 5th place ahead of Orlov, but he is now extra powered, and he's gonna use the power on the straights, perhaps to get past Gabber again.
Your driver, Zdeněk, Cyril Basset, right there with the leaders. You can see them pretty well evenly spaced. Timo Sarkkinen got a slightly better exit, so he's stretched the gap slightly. But Timo Sarkkinen 1 second from Carlos Machiotis over the line, beginning the 4th lap. Cyril Basset within 2 seconds of the leader there in 3rd, looking for a podium in the sprint race. Silvio Agostino a second, almost 2 seconds further back in 4th, though with the attack boost, 3 minutes remaining on that attack boost. 5th place, still Gabber, up and down the order from 5th. He is now back where he began the race, having a very difficult and frustrating day, ahead of Daniel Orlov in 6th, Ronan Krompusch in 7th, rounding out the top 8. The other Sarkkinen 10 seconds behind. Then Stephen Martin, Nico Patola, who has fallen down from the top 8 after an exciting excursion over the curbs in the last quarter a couple laps ago. Jeff and Jakob rounding out the order in 11th. And now Daniel Orlov, Zdeněk, is right there in the slipstream with Gabber.
Yeah, he's going to play it smart, I think, because he knows Gabber has to take the attack boost as well. Just not too smart, so he doesn't miss his opportunity to get past him. Gabber knows that he can try to hold him behind and perhaps use it to his advantage and take the attack boost later to drive away from him. But so let's see how they do.
At the front, Carlos Machiotis just getting inside. Timo Sarkkinen late on the brakes, dove for the first position in turn 1. Timo Sarkkinen now right behind Carlos Machiotis as they approach turn 4. Sarkkinen looking on the outside. Carlos Machiotis has the position and is now ahead by a car length as they come through turns 4 and 5. Cyril Basset still lurking there in the background, salivating, watching these two fight over the top spot. Cyril Basset could snatch a win if these two come together. Now, Carlos Machiotis through the apex. Timo Sarkkinen out to the outside, takes the attack boost, Zdeněk.
Yeah, Motijut is enhancing his lead a little bit, thanks to Sarkkinen using his attack boost. Gabber still holding Orlov behind. Agostino still holding behind Basset. So he's not. He's ahead.
They've swapped positions. Yeah, it hadn't.
Yeah,
it had
the
not
graphics
updated on
got
the
me
time
confused a little bit. So they swapped position thanks to the attack boost, and Cyril Basset, I think he will go for the attack boost this lap, because now he has no time to lose. Otherwise, he's going to lose Agostino.
When is the best time to get through the attack boost? Would you say that getting through it early, like some of the drivers have done, is the best play, or would you save it until later so that you're running out of attack boost right as you finish the race?
I see it as a big tactical battle, because you have to respond to the drivers around you, and manage it well, so you don't end up stuck behind somebody. So you can perhaps drive away and gain some time when the driver. When the driver around you uses his boost.
Yeah, in the background there, we just looked back to Daniel Orlov and Gabber, who are battling. I believe Daniel Orlov is, there's a, we have a mistake on the graphics there.
Temu is attacking. He's going for the first place.
Yeah, there, I was about to say, Timo attacking for first place, and Cyril Basset has gone through the attack zone side by side, just clips the tire barrier there. I think that is still on, trying to run side by side and keep enough space, make enough space for the competitor. Silva Agostino catching up to both of these guys. That is Carlos Machiotis wide through turn 3, 4. And now side by side into turn 6, still side by side. Silva Agostino has to be loving this. Still side by side. Yes, Sarkinen is in the lead now, just gets the car that was ahead as they approach the apex. Now Carlos is ahead once again, but Timo Sarkinen is going to go side by side through the back straight.
Yeah, it's a really clean battle, really gentlemanly battle, but also very hard because they don't want to lose the first place. It's going to play so big role in the remaining 6 laps, which are still ahead of us.
Carlos Machiotis so late on the brakes there. Looked like the rear of the car was about to swap ends and go to the front, backwards into the rear of Timo Sarkinen's car, but just gets it under control. Sarkinen has a little bit of a gap as they come across the start-finish line and into the first corner. Now past the halfway mark, Carlos lurking right behind Timo Sarkinen as Silva Agostino has lost the has lost a little bit of time, that gap growing slightly. Meanwhile, Cyril Basset, with 2 minutes left on his attack boost, still right there and closing on Silva Agostino.
Yeah, there's a lot still going to happen in the rest of the race. Temu is trying to step on it as Carlos is going for his attack boost and he loses 2 positions. So now he's gonna have to push extra harder to not lose time behind these 2 drivers. Temu is going to step on it because he wants to get some gap, and it's almost 3 wide into the chicane. How is this gonna turn out? And Cyril, oh no, Cyril goes wide and hits the slipping policeman, and it's not turned out very well for him.
No, but it has turned out well for Gabber, who has been lurking in 5th place. All of these drivers ahead of him fighting has promoted him to 4th. Silva Agostino loses the position when Carlos Machiotis gets 2 in 1 corner. Looked like it might come to tears 3 wide. Carlos using every bit of the road on the inside there. Has the attack boost. Timo Sarkinen does not. Carlos in pursuit of Timo Sarkinen with 4.5 laps remaining. Wants to reclaim the lead and a sprint win. Has the power, but also has a pretty large gap, 2 seconds to make up on Timo Sarkinen, though he will gain a lot of that time back when he comes through turn 7 and down the back straightaway. Race control message, cars 3 and 88, usage of attack boost not triggered in InSim, noted by stewards. So we will we'll find more information about that. That's Daniel Orlov and Silva Agostino. Okay, they've used their boost, but it is not showing correctly, so everything good there. Carlos, a little bit wide through the chicane. Zdeněk, he is playing with fire coming through the final corner, driving the car the way he is with the rear just all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's actually happened in the turn 10 as we see the race control message, but we'll see how it turns out. Oh, and Carlos is attacking again. He's not going to let the first place run away from him. He's going to want it. He's really going to want it. And also Gabor, I don't write him off of this first place battle. He's only 3.5 seconds behind, and he just activated his attack boost 1 lap prior to this one, and he's gonna smell it. He's gonna smell the win, perhaps even 4 laps from the end, 3.5 laps from the end. It's still there.
I was about to ask how Gabber had fallen to 5th, and you answered it with the trip through the attack boost. Carlos Machiotis now with the extra power coming past Timo Sarkinen. Does Timo Sarkinen have anything for him coming into the final corner? Both of these drivers so quick today, so close. The racing is so tight. No, Timo Sarkinen just clips the curb, somehow manages to regain control of the car, just touches the tire on the exit. I don't know how he isn't upside down on the wrong side of the barrier, somehow manages to collect the car and holds onto 2nd position, though behind them, Gabber has gained 2 positions on the previous lap and is now right there with attack boost right behind Timo Sarkkinen.
Yeah, Gabor got past Silva Agostinho thanks to his attack boost on the back straight, and now he's gonna go for Teemu Sarkkinen. Is he going to try around the outside? No, not for now, but he's gonna go for it, I think, on the back straight. The speed advantage thanks to the extra power is gonna be too big for Teemu Sarkkinen to defend, I think.
Yeah, I think Gabber will be a little bit frustrated here, looking to the outside. I think just forcing Timo Sarkkinen to take a narrower entry, and Gabber a nice tight entry into the corner, wide on the exit. He will be able to power past. Oh, looking to the inside, very dangerous, very optimistic from Gabber. Fortunately, Timo Sarkkinen, a very, very kind and gentlemanly racer today. Nice, tight fighting amongst themselves, but Timo Sarkkinen giving just enough space. Noted where Gabber was going to be there, but Gabber goes wide into the exit and into the curbs, or into the tire barriers. Everyone having so much trouble with that final corner, Zdeněk.
Yeah, it's Carlis will run out of his attack boost in just 7 seconds, and the Gabor will have 1 minute and 10 seconds extra on him. It's 2.5 seconds and 2 laps to go. How is this gonna turn out? I think that there's still 2 long straights ahead of Gabor where he can use his full power. And no, he hits the tire again. He goes too wide, and that will cost him some time.
It will cost him some time, and the gap behind him, Timo Sarkkinen now right there again. Gabber has the extra power for the remainder of this lap, and he'll have it for the beginning of the next one. Silva Agostinho right there behind Timo Sarkkinen, so still a 3-way fight for third position. For second position. Carlos Maciotis, that gap now up to 3.2. No, now down. It was just over 3 seconds, but now under 3, 2.78 seconds. I think Carlos probably has this wrapped up. I don't think Gabber can close nearly 3 seconds in one lap. All Carlos needs to do is keep the car between the lines, drive nice and smoothly, manage it. Gabber about to run out of the extra power when he comes through the first quarter. On the final lap now, Carlos Maciotis leads from Gabber and Timo Sarkkinen in third.
Just for your information, the speed difference on the end of the straight was about 10 kilometers per hour, and it's 2.25 seconds with the final lap ahead of us, and I think Carlos is going to go safely for his first, I think, win in E-Challenge of 2025.
In 2025, yes, indeed. There was a race control message that we should note that has now gone off the screen. Car 88. Oh, as Silva Agostinho dives under Timo Sarkkinen. Clean and late move. Timo Sarkkinen now demoted to 4th place after he was racing so closely, so aggressively with Carlos Maciotis. He doesn't have to risk this here because car 88 is going to have a penalty at the end of the race, illegal use of the attack boost. Side by side through the chicane, but we look forward to Carlos Maciotis out of the final quarter, manages tight racing, aggressive racing, but very fair racing with Timo Sarkkinen nicely to hold on to the first position, cross the line in the lead for the sprint race. Brilliant, exciting racing as Gabber comes across the line in second. Timo Sarkkinen and Silva Agostinho nearly alongside. Silva takes the fastest lap of the race with a minute 5.45, just 1/100th quicker. Oh, identical fastest lap time to Gabber and 1/100th quicker than Carlos. But there you have it as the remainder of the cars cross the line. Nico Pantola coming through in 8th right now. Carlos Maciotis survives an onslaught from Timo Sarkkinen. Great racing between the two of them to take the top spot in the sprint.
Yeah, very close. As you have very well noted, the fastest laps are very close as well. And well done by everybody. Congrats to Carlos and well done by Gabor. We have final car across the line, Jeffin Jacob, who has his internet survive this race. So well done to that as well.
A throwback to his trials and tribulations of past events. There you can see the race result. The top 3, the podium for the sprint race. Carlos Maciotis 3 seconds ahead of Gabber in second, and finishing on the podium, Timo Sarkkinen in the number 69 machine. Ran so well with Carlos. Very exciting racing early on. Thrilled to see it. The MRC E-Challenge never disappoints. However, speaking of disappointing, I am very sorry to say that I need to step away. I was dearly looking forward to the excitement of the feature race, but I have other commitments I need to leave to, so I will leave everyone in the very capable hands of Zdeněk Cagaš, and Peter Butcher will join the booth. Peter, are you there?
I am here, Travis. Hello.
Thank you very much for filling in. I appreciate it. Thank you to the drivers for putting on this brilliant show, all of the organizers, and everyone watching. Hope you're enjoying this, and I hope that the feature race is just as thrilling as the sprint. Thank you all once again. Everyone have a great time, and I will pass it off to you, Peter and Zdeněk.
Thank you. Your departure is really sad and really disappointing, but perhaps we will do the same good job, maybe even better. Let's see.
We will meet again in 2 weeks, and we can go even harder than we have today, I hope. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks, Travis. Enjoy your afternoon. Good to be alongside you again, Zdeněk, for some more E-Challenge.
I will just spoil it that it will be without me because I'm not going to be here in 2 weeks' time, but it's going to be epic anyway.
Absolutely. We've got 24 laps on our graphic here, but the first race was 13 laps, so we'll wait to see what the confirmed lap count is for race 2, Zdeněk, but either way, it's going to be a lot longer, and we're going to be using the rear-wheel drive variant of the
E-Challenger EVO. And as we already said, feature race features to attack boost activations, more strategy to play with, and about 30 minutes of racing, I suppose, for the next race.
Absolutely. I think we're going to have a little bit of a pause anyway, because the grid has to be set for the second race. The drivers are given a little bit of a comfort break as well. And we also have that top 10 reverse grid. So everything's going to get shaken up again. Gabba's going to have an awful time battling his way back through the grid. He managed to get up to P2 in that one. Cagaš is going to have an even harder job getting from P10 through to the front. So yeah, we will jump away for a couple of minutes while the organisers sort everything out, Zdeněk. But yeah, we'll be back in a bit. In fact, I'm hearing from Race Control that we've been given a little bit of time to do some interviews. So actually, we're not going to go away. We're going to speak to Cagaš, Zdeněk.
Hello.
Hello, Cagaš. How's it doing?
Greetings.
You won.
Yes, quite exciting.
How does it feel for you right now?
Sorry?
How does it feel for you right now?
It feels great. I didn't expect to push Team Sarkinen on restriction while he took the boost. I thought, yeah, all right, maybe I'll defend for a corner or two and then he will fly away. But I noticed that during the first few corners, I caught up to him and I at some point even passed him. I actually wanted to take the boost a lap earlier, but I was unable to because he was on my left on that area where I have to go to the left to take the boost. So
yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, you had some fights during the whole race. Which one did you like the most, or did you just enjoy the whole race as it was?
I definitely enjoyed the fight with Timo, especially the moment where he was on boost. But you know that very long right-hander, he took the wide line while on boost, and I was able to get side by side and overtake him on that corner. So yeah, that was really fun and close racing.
Yeah, we enjoy watching you two go at it almost the whole time. Shame for me, at least personally, not that I don't like Gabor, but I was hoping you two could make it 1-2 in the finish, but you perhaps lost too much time fighting together, and Gabor eventually caught up. Have you been afraid in the final stages that he might catch up with you as well?
I think 2 laps left, he was still on boost, which I noticed. So yes, I was afraid that he will catch up to me, but the next lap I saw that he's not gaining on me anymore. And considering I was more than 2 seconds in front, I was fairly confident that that will be fine.
This race is a little bit different now, though, because you've got to start from P10. Gabba's going to be ahead of you, as well as pretty much the entirety of the field. So yeah, a little bit of a different race this time.
Oh yeah, for sure. This one's going to be also about tire management, because on the sprint race I was running R3s, which are very forgiving, while on the feature race I'm taking R2s, which I need to baby a bit more. But yeah, we'll see.
We will we'll see. I think
Okay.
we're going to be gridding up, so we'll let you get back to it, Carolus, and hopefully we'll have a chat to you at the end in a similar position.
Yeah, best of luck
hopefully.
in the second race.
Good luck in the second race. We'll watch him with Ernest. Carolus Mortiotis there, winner in the sprint race. The grid is being set in the background, Zdeněk, and we think it is going to be for 24 laps, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's going to be about 30 minutes, so it's going to feel like a sprint race anyway, but still, the energy management will play a big role with the long straights and big consumption. So it's going to be, I think Michael calculated it all very well for the best spectacle for us.
Yeah, we've got the added bonus of the regenerative braking in the E-Challenger EVO, which means that the drivers are going to be able to make this car go a little bit longer than perhaps they could in the all-wheel drive version. It also means we get 2 attack modes, a longer race, and yeah, race 2 is just going to be fantastic. It always is. I'm a little bit upset for Travis really that he doesn't get to enjoy it, but yeah, he's got 2 rounds left of the championship to enjoy another feature race with us. So yeah, so the grid is being done in the background. You're going to take us away from the track presentation, I believe. So yeah, let's get on with it in a couple of moments. While we wait for the grid to be set and everything to be finalised in the background by race control, let's take a look through the calendar once again. We've shown you this a couple of times tonight. However, we are at the midway of the championship effectively. We have 1 race down, 1 race to go tonight in round 3, with 2 races left to go. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be at New York E-Prix Circuit once again, and then the brand new Sao Paulo E-Prix Circuit in a month's time on April 6th. So really looking forward to seeing what that's all about. But yeah, thanks for joining us for coverage here in Live Speed of Master Race Cars E-Challenge, round 3 from the Portland E-Prix Circuit in Oregon in the United States. The replica made lifelike by Michael Malik. The cameras created to match the Formula E broadcast by Chris McElroy. And yeah, this is just an all-round nice replica of the real-life event, as we are ready to go, I think, in the background. Waiting for everybody to hit the ready button, and we're going to have a grid. Zdeněk, Cagaš, take it away for the grid presentation. We have a grid, and we're going to have Michael Malik rolling around to do the grid presentation imminently.
Indeed, and let's see how the grid turned out for this feature race. Michael Malik is prepared with his camera car, especially prepared for this event, and he's off to show us what this great grid is. As he's closing on the finish line where the cars are ready for the start, we can see on the right side, in the first place, Stephen Martin slowly coming closer to our screen. And now it's going to be pointed with the arrow. Yeah, in second place is Mika Sarkkinen on the left. And on the right, Silva Agostinho on the right side. And fourth place is Nico Puntula on the left, followed by another race green car on the right side, Ronnie Kronpusch, and it's Daniel Orlov on the left side, Cyril Bisset on the right, Teemu Sarkkinen in ninth place on the left side, We have also Gabor Gyure on the right side in 10th position. Karolis Motojutis in 9th position, sorry. Karolis Motojutis is actually in 10th place. We are missing one car of Jeffin Jacob, who was supposed to be in this position, but he timed out just before we have reached him. He's still joining. Maybe there's still time for him to get at least the pit lane start, and we are going green very soon. Yes, Jeffin Jacob is confirmed for pit lane start. The lights will go up in a few seconds. 5 seconds to lights, and you will start turning red anytime now. 1, 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's a long hold. We are still waiting, and off we go. Stephen Martin and Mika Sarkin on the first row. All cars trying to find some good position into the first chicane where they have to brake hard. And they are side by side all through the field, 10 cars, and Jeffin Jacob further behind from the pit lane, as we are watching Teemu Sarkkinen squeezed between 2 cars, and Mika Sarkkinen in second place. Niko Puntola contact with Silva Agostinho, and it's not turning out well for him today. All sorts of mistakes happening to him. And Stephen Martin progresses into lead from the start cleanly and holds it on. Silva Agostinho third place, Mika Sarkkinen in second. Where is Gabor? Gabor is making progress. He's just passed Ronnie Kronpusch, and he was 8th, but let's see how the split turns out. He's now in 5th position. He made 3 positions from the start. He's right on Karolis' tail, and he's gonna try and make further position before this lap ends.
Yeah, an amazing start for Karolis. Karolis has jumped, he's up from 10th to 4th, so that's an amazing start for Karolis. He's actually managed to jump Gabor as well, as Steve Martin keeps the lead over start finish onto lap number 2, breaking down then into turn 1. We've got Gabor moving out, but not trying to make the move there on Karolis. But yeah, exciting stuff, and Karolis exactly the start he needed.
Yeah, he's holding on to his 4th place as we watch from Mika Sarkkinen's car towards Cyril Bisset, who is just behind him in 3rd place so far. He's also made nice progress. The start mixed up the field really well. It's something remarkable for second lap on, and the drivers who started in the back are already really up to the front of the field.
Yeah, Cyril is all over the back of Mika now. Mika will be well aware and conscious that he's got the Frenchman in his mirrors as Cyril goes to the inside, and it's a clean pass into the final sector. Oh, but over the sleeping policeman again. That forces Cyril out wide into the path of Karolis, into the path of Gabor, but this might help Karolis here quite a bit. No, Gabor's got through, so Cyril giving away 3 places there with a small error after a really nice overtake, so that's a shame.
I was about to say that it was Cyril's least favorite part of the track, but I think it's
Karolis.
Everyone's least favorite part of the track. As Gabor goes past Karolis into the 3rd place. Cyril tried attack move on Teemu Sarkkinen, but has to stay behind. Or I don't know, maybe Teemu Sarkkinen actually passed Cyril Bisset.
Yeah, he did.
It was too much action.
Yeah, well, actually, no, he hasn't, according to our timing graphics. He's just behind.
Silva Agostinho goes on the inside of Cyril Bisset, and he makes contact, and still side by side into the turn 7, where the attack zone is, as the attack mode is already enabled at the end of second lap. And we saw Karolis Motojutis going wide exactly in that turn, activating his attack mode, and Silva Agostinho goes to the inside of this chicane and moves up 1 position ahead of Cyril Bisset and goes wide, hits the tires, but manages to hold the position.
Yeah, it's always sketchy through there. Drivers carrying a little bit too much speed, running a bit wide, clipping a Stephen policeman, and that just offsets them for the next part of the lap. Gabor already up to P2, fastest lap so far as well, and no attack boost used right now. This is a dream start in the end for Gabor. A little bit slow away, but he's made up a bunch of places, and now Karolis Motojutis going for the move on one of the Sarkkinens. I think that's Mika Sarkkinen there.
Yeah, it's Mika Sarkkinen, and they are side by side with the left-hander coming up. Mika with better position. They made contact, and
contact. Oh no, disaster!
lag contact. I think the connection played some role in this because it wasn't looking so serious. But oh man, we have lost 2 cars to this crash. Carlos and I don't know who was the second car. Silva Agostinho, and also Jeff and Jacob has timed out at the same time. So crazy few seconds in this 4th lap of this race.
Well, that was unlucky. Mika sort of ricocheting and bouncing out wide into Carolus, as we've got a battle on for the lead. Daniel Orlov spinning at the final chicane, but we've got a battle for the lead over start finish. It's going to be a change for the lead in the feature race. Gabba streaks past up into P1 past Stephen Martin, but disaster for Orlov, who's dropped back another couple of places.
Yeah, and it was looking like a spin, but in the end he managed to hold it off. But Gabor taking what he must be feeling is rightfully his after his bad lap in the qualifying shootout in quarterfinals, which cost him a better starting position. We saw some car ahead. Rejoining, hitting all objects.
Yeah,
went wide in the 2nd and 3rd turn and lost 1 position right now.
Yeah, lots and lots of drama. Difficult to keep up with this. We've got Carolus Monchiotis trying to catch up to the back of Ronnie Krompusch again, as we've got a race control message here that cars 13, 34 and 88 are under investigation for an incident at turn 6 on lap 4, as Carolus goes through on Ronnie Krompusch there in the background. We'll wait to see what happens with that race control message, as Carolus smashes a tyre and another speed bump there.
Yeah, his suspension didn't like it. His left wheel got the biggest damage, left front wheel. As we see, as you already mentioned, the stewards are also having their hands full, even though we still have only 10 cars in this race.
Exactly.
It's a lot of stuff happening.
I mean, when you throw in so much variability and, you know, a complex race format, you're going to get, you know, unexpected things happening. And that's why we have a large stewarding team with us this afternoon. Really do need to give a shout out to those guys. We'll do it once the action calms down. We've got Cyril Basset here under attack again from that's Teemu Sarkkinen, and he's through, and he's going into the boost. He's going to go and get it now. That is immediately activated, and
he's going to use it.
Oversteer. Yeah, exactly. He's going to use it to try and immediately get back past Cyril. Has to go the long way round, which will become the inside. No, he's backed out of it already, so we use it on the home straight probably here.
Yeah, it's gonna come sooner than later, I think. It's 10 kilometers per hour extra at the end of the longest straight, which we are seeing right now. But
Cyril's also got the boost, remember? So still to use. Team has only just picked it up, so
I must have missed it among all the crazy action we had.
Absolutely. I mean, the drivers won't necessarily know who around them has the boost unless they've been paying attention to the track ahead of them. So Teemu might be slightly surprised that he couldn't get the boost there, to get the overtake, sorry. But yeah, just needs to remember that the 2 drivers ahead of him, exactly the same amount of boost remaining. 40 seconds left for Nico and Cyril, and a full 3 minutes for Teemu Sarkkinen. So he just needs to be a little bit patient, and it should be okay. As out the front, Gabba's opened up a 4.2 second gap over Steve Martin. Neither of these two have used any boost yet whatsoever. And I think Steve is going to be safe from Nico and Cyril, who have both, by the looks of it, started to do some energy saving. Nico doing a lot of lift and coast into the final chicane.
Well, yeah, just a reminder, we are going to show you the energy level graphics as we are seeing Cyril Basset trying to attack, and he's going for it. Nico Puntola defending, and Cyril thinks better of it as they come up to Stephen Martin, who goes slower, and Nico just cruises past him. Cyril loses 1 position to Teemu Sarkkinen for some reason, and Teemu Sarkkinen is looking at Stephen Martin as well. He's going to try to pass him very soon, but Cyril goes side by side and they make contact, and it's almost spin for both of them.
Well, we know that Nico doesn't have the best track record when it comes to energy management in E-Challenge, so that's probably why we see him streaking past everybody as Stephen Martin does go for a boost now, but potentially also playing it a little bit more conservatively. So 4 minutes of extra power, 51 kilowatts extra for Steve Martin activated there, which means you can try to get back through on Carlos Motiotis just ahead of him.
As we see, we have drive-through penalty, which we will see soon on the screen. A message from the race control will pop up for sure. But Mika Sarkkinen has a drive-through penalty for causing a collision on lap 4 and in turn 6. As we see, Teemu Sarkkinen going past Nico Puntola, and successfully so. So Nico Puntola already letting another car by, and quite easily. So as we see the confirmation from the race control, car 13, Mika Sarkkinen, has been up to some no good action.
Yeah, that's a shame. He's actually already in the pit lane serving that. Here he is, trundling down what must be an extremely lengthy pit lane at that sort of speed. We can't even see him. He's behind the timing tower. There he is, just poking out. But yeah, that's essentially his race over. There's not really much you can do from that position. As Gabber now with a 6.7 second lead over Teemu Sarkkinen has activated one of his attack boosts. As Teemu again playing with the edge of the road.
Yeah, the field is starting to spread a little bit, but we are already on lap 10, which is easily one third of the race already gone, and it's not been so long.
I mean, E-Challenge is full of drama. You don't have a second to breathe. The laps just happen, as we've got now Cyril Bousset all over the back of Nico Puntola. Nico has made it up to P3. We'll get a look at the car's energy statistics in a couple of laps' time, about halfway through the race. As now everybody except Ronnie Krompusch has used one of the attack boosts. Ronnie is saving them for later by the looks of it. But yeah, Gabber's currently in a boost attack mode. And so too is Stephen Martin and Mika Sarkkinen.
Yeah, you just stole my words. I was about to point out Ronnie's energy usage as Cyril Bousset goes past Nico Puntola, or actually I think Nicola just let him by because he might be energy saving, as you already said. We will see soon. I mean, the energy bars, remaining energy bars pop up after the half of the race. So we will let you guessing for a bit, but it will be interesting to watch in the remainder of the race as Carlos is also trying to attack Nico Puntola, and yeah, Nico does not defend, and Carlos goes up to the P4.
Yeah, great move. Equal machinery there. No attack mode to sort of separate them on power. So that was purely the slipstream. But yeah, Gabber is absolutely storming ahead. That boost has helped him open up almost a 9-second lead. In fact, it's over 9 seconds now over Teemu Sarkkinen. And all the action appears to be in this camera shot here.
Gabber decided he is not waiting for anybody in this race. He lost his usual position in sprint race due to his qualifying error, and now he's just running away already on the start-finish straight, as we are watching Stephen Martin behind Nico Puntola, and he's gonna perhaps go for it as well, because Nico has been going slowly in the past few laps. So he is in the slipstream.
Got 5 seconds of boost left. Oh, no, he's backed out of it already, so he's not going to use the boost to get through on this occasion.
So that didn't work for him quite the best way he imagined, but still close behind Nico Puntola, who is in 5th position, as we are watching Gabber cruising his way towards the victory. No drama here. We see 2nd place so far behind, and the 3rd place of Cyril Bousset, who is doing better in this sprint race than as a feature race, than in the sprint race. And Carlos Motietis, as we also see in his onboard, sliding a little bit in this real wheel version of the E-Challenge car on the back straight, closing into the fast chicane. As you can see, it's very fast. You just slightly brake, lift the throttle to save some energy, left, right, and tires are also close. You have to be really careful, and then just carefully exit on the pit start-finish straight, so you don't hit the wall on the exit, and then full gas towards the chicane.
The drivers are on lap 12. Sorry, on lap 13 now, just over halfway. And you can see that on the energy, most people are just over halfway through their energy, but it's looking good. Nobody in immediate danger other than potentially Nico Pintola and Silva Agostino, but there's no real change there.
Yeah, Ronnie, who is still saving his attack boost for later, he is doing quite well, so he's gonna have a good chance of using it on the drivers ahead of him, who are just about 1 second ahead. It's Silva Agostino and Daniel Orlov just ahead of him, so I guess this will be his immediate goal. Stephen Martin is 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds further up ahead, and then it's Nico Puntola in 5th. So Ronnie has still some options for the remainder of the race, which is 11 laps right now, as Gabor crosses the start-finish line into the first chicane and continues on.
Yeah, his energy is absolutely a-okay. He's nailing it so far. Team Sarkinen also doing a good job there, but 10 seconds back to everybody else. Gabor has changed it up a gear. He's seeing red and has decided that he's going to throw caution to the wind, and that seems to be the approach that has worked so far in this race. He's made plenty of errors though tonight, so it's not over yet for sure. Cyril Bousset is trying to find something on Team Sarkinen right now, and well, these guys have been trading tenths all season long so far, as we see Cagaš go for his second boost, the first driver to do so.
Yeah, already some wheel speed on the exit from the attack boosts.
Oh, it's a huge kick up the backside when that attack boost comes in. Hard to put it across really on the camera, but it is, you know, an extra 51 kilowatts.
That is a lot in this car because power. I don't know.
20%.
Yeah, it is noticeable, and yeah, we saw the effect.
Yeah, you lose a bit of time initially, but with it being on an apex, you always have to do a little bit more steering once you leave the attack boost, and by that point, the power is already with you. So yeah, a few other drivers going through the attack boost for the second time. Silva Agostino, Daniel Orlov, as we still watch here, Cyril Bousset wondering what he is going to do. Surely he has to take the boost sooner rather than later to try and make a move before Motojoitis catches him.
That is correct. There's some drivers. Some drivers, as we see, not only Motojoitis, but also, as you said, Agostino and Orlov using the attack mode. They are almost on the same time limit for their last remaining attack boost. Ron is still saving it. He's maybe he's still thinking he can use it for his advantage to catch up to those drivers who already are consuming their extra energy. But still, he has to remember there is only 10 laps remaining, and the attack boost is about 8 minutes, and he has to use it 2 laps from the finish, the last one. So I'm sure in the second 2 coming laps, he's gonna go for the first one at least.
Yeah, 9 laps to go, including this one as Gabor heads on to lap 16. We've got Mika Sarkinen joining just ahead of him, who gets well out of the way to go a lap down now in this race. But yeah, Gabor making good pace. The gap to Teemu has dropped slightly, probably as Teemu is pushing.
There's a spin. Somebody spun ahead of Stephen Martin. Maybe it was Silva Agostino. I have seen just a car spinning on the minimap, and it was Nico Puntola. Nico Puntola made some mistake in the first 4 turns in this opening section, and he's dropped a lot of positions.
It's a disaster for Nico. It was going quite well, but yeah, down to P7 then for him.
Yeah, it's a big shame because he was still going very well. NX driver uses his final attack mode as well. It's Cyril Bousset in 4th place, who was in 3rd place last time I checked his whereabouts, but somehow lost this position. He's gonna go and try to go for another podium, which he did a couple of times already, and it tastes so sweet. So maybe he's definitely gonna go for it.
Well, it's starting to close up now between Teemu Sarkinen and Cagaš Motojoitis. Motojoitis there
MotoGP is on his last seconds on his second attack boost. Sarkkinen still last one. They are going to side by side into the chicane, and Karolis goes through just before the chicane, and Teemu Sarkkinen will have to now use his attack boost because he will want to go back to second place. Last 10 seconds for Karolis, who can use this extra power to drive away. And Cyril Bisset is going for Teemu Sarkkinen as well. And he does so. He's into third place. And
Yeah,
he also
takes the fastest lap as well.
Fastest lap, 4 tenths faster than previous fastest lap by Gabor. Very well done. And he's gonna, as I said, he's really gonna go for the podium.
Yep, he's been showing his potential all season long, especially this season. Marked improvement over the previous seasons that he's been involved in. But great to see him here again, as we've got Teemu Sarkkinen into the attack boost to take his second boost, which means it's just Mika and Gabba who are left to activate their final boost. Oh no, mind you, we've got Roni as well, who's still working his way through his first boost.
But Karolis might be under pressure now because 2 drivers behind him on attack boost. Cyril with 1 minute 20 seconds remaining. Teemu Sarkkinen with over 3.5 minutes, and they are going to get to him soon. And Cyril Bisset goes through already. Karolis just lets him through. He didn't put out any fight, so Cyril goes into second place and pulls away already. You can see the difference in the power in action.
Yeah, a great move up into P2 for Cyril. And, well, Karolis has got a lot of work to do now without that boost. And, well, Cyril's got 50 seconds left. Let's get another look at the energy use of the drivers and see whether anything's going to come into play. Well, Gabba has done this, has timed this perfectly. Look, more energy than pretty much anybody else in the field besides Mika, Martin and Roni.
We have lost Nico. Nico spectated from the race. He probably had enough, so we have now 9 cars remaining, but 9 cars, 9 times 9 action on the track.
Exactly, yeah. We've got 4 of the cars on shot in one go. We've got Teemu Sarkkinen leading this group. So in fact, that's Mika Sarkkinen, back marker, my mistake. Cyril Bisset leading this group with Karolis Motiotis just behind. Now all on equal footing, no boost to use.
And less than 5 laps remaining. This happens all so fast. Cyril running away in second place, catching up to Mika Sarkkinen, who is lapped down, as we have already seen take him his drive-through penalty, and he will just get out of the way of the drivers who are now closing on to him.
Yeah, doesn't have to worry about that just yet. He's got a bit of time. But everybody looks to be fairly safe on energy who we have left in the race at the moment, so no worries at all for anyone, just to navigate these final, what will be 4 laps, as Gabba's already onto the home straight. Make it 4 laps to go here in round 3.
Yeah, Gabor so far ahead. I mean, it's been much bigger gap. It's been over 9 seconds. Now it's just 6 seconds. So he slowed down, and he's not going to take any unnecessary risks, which would put him in danger and of defending his first place. Cyril Bisset, Mika Sarkkinen way out of the way, very well. In a place where in real life there would be a gravel trap. And Cyril Bisset under pressure from Karolis Motiotis. Teemu Sarkkinen still 40 seconds left of the attack boost. He will want to join this battle, so he has to step on it on this straight and on the start-finish straight, which is about the time he has left in his attack mode.
Yeah, well, this is a pretty close fight still for P2 in this race. But it is Cyril with the momentum at the moment. He also has the fastest lap, don't forget, proving himself once again to just have what it takes on the single lap. Really fast driver.
Carolis went wide in the final turn, and now he has to deal with Teemu Sarkkinen, who is using his final seconds of his attack boost to go side by side, but it's not enough for the chicane to get by. Carolis Motiejutis.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. He would have been able to see how much boost he had remaining, but decided instead to back out, and that's probably his final chance, because Carolis, there is no way that he's going to let him through on equal footing. With the same power, it's way easier to defend than it is against somebody that's got an extra 50 kilowatts of power. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good for Cyril and Carolis for the final 2 steps on the podium, as Gabber has been doing what looks like some more saving, but he does have that extra boost now. So I'm guessing that this is going to be a bit of a flat out to the finish sort of scenario. 1 minute 11 left on his boost, 2 laps to go, and that will be the attack boost disabled for everybody, and that's just as well because everyone has used their remaining boosts.
Yeah, and I've just seen something interesting. Is Carol is perhaps using the tire in the braking zone for the final turn as a sort of way to slow the car down a little bit more efficiently. Let's see if he does it again, or if it was just a mistake on his side.
Well, Teemu Sarkkinen has made a mistake here. I don't know what's gone on. That's his teammate who's letting him through, but Teemu has lost a lot of time in the last lap, so his chances of getting a podium are completely up in smoke. As Gabber comes into the final corner on the penultimate lap. 1 to go here.
1 lap to go, and Gabor with over 8 seconds of the lead, comfortably going for his another win. Cyril Bissay in second place, using all his skill and taking advantage of absence of Imran Azhar. He will get his best position in E-Challenge so far. Second place, it's looking like second place for him. Carolis Motiejutis is more than 3.5 seconds behind Teemu Sarkkinen, and 1.5 seconds behind Carolis Motiejutis, and Steven Martin so far away, with Ronnie Kronpusch still catching up to him with 1 minute left of his attack boost, which is about 1 lap. So that should be right, calculated very well, right to the finish line from Ronnie. And maybe he will still have chance of getting a 5th place.
Yeah, I think so. I think Steve is, one small wobble from Steve and it's all over. He's only just ahead. And there's enough of the lap left that Ronnie could make quite good use. But out of the final corner, take it away, Zdeněk.
Yeah, Gabor did fastest lap, and he goes for the double with fastest lap and win in the feature race for Portland Grand Prix in this year's edition of E-Challenge. Second place, Cyril Bissay coming across the line right now. His best position in E-Challenge. Third place, Carolis Motiejutis, just ahead of Teemu Sarkkinen. 5th place is still open, and we will see. It's Steven Martin. It's Steven Martin in the end. Ronnie Kronpusch didn't have the time and energy left to attack. It's 6th. Mr. Silva Agostinho is in 7th. Daniel Orlov in 8th. And last car, 1 lap behind, is Mika Sarkkinen with his VR set. Here we see the final results with all the DNFs of Nico Puntola, who spectated, and Jeffin Jacob, who timed out. So 11 cars participated in today's evening, and it was some action still, as we said multiple times. With so few cars, we still have a lot of action to watch and to commentate and to see. You can see it for yourself. So if you are still hesitating and you would like to participate in this series, go on to LFS forum and sign up. It's free, and it's still 2 rounds left on March 23rd and on April 6th in New York and in Sao Paulo. So you will see a bit of the world, at least on our own LFS layout square.
Yeah, so 2 rounds to go, and well, Gabba will surely have earned a good haul of points from that second race to improve his position in the championship standings. He will have 142 points provisionally over Carlos Monteotis. Imran Azar then dropping to third place in the championship after this one with a non-attendance. Cyril Bousset will be fourth, and Timo Sarkkinen will be in fifth place in the championship. But yeah, Gabba 142 points over Carolus Motietis 127, which means that we have got a spicy end to our 2025 edition of Master Race Cars E-Challenge in Live for Speed. And there is a somewhat wonky podium in the background. Probably get a better camera on that, but we have potentially got some interviews to have, and hopefully we can speak to a few of our drivers before we wrap up the show today.
Hello again.
Hello again, Carolus. How was your race?
It was fun, even though I crashed. Crashed into, I guess. Considering how much time I lost over there, I'm okay. Maybe I'm not really that content with third place, but yeah, still I think I did quite good considering how much time I lost there, and I also got a little bit of damage to my front left, which made the car a bit understeery on right-hand corners, which are the most important in this track. But oh well, it is how it is.
Oh yeah, I was wondering. You went wide in some of these right-handers, and I thought you were making mistakes, so that explains a little bit. Yeah. How was your energy level? Have you been managing it well? How was it in the finish?
I was down 0.3% at the last lap, at the final two last lap. Well, at the final 2-3 last laps, I had to save quite a lot. So yeah, it wasn't optimal.
Yeah, but it seems like you managed the gap from the car behind very well. It was 1.5 seconds, so I guess you didn't feel in danger in that from that place.
I knew he was roughly around my charge, so yeah, I was feeling quite safe. I was hoping maybe I'll be able to catch up to Bousset because I knew he had less starting the final lap, but he made enough of a gap during the penultimate lap.
Yeah, so you were aiming for position 2, yeah? You already mentioned, so that was your goal for this race?
Well, if not for the crash, I am certain I would have been able to be second. First, not sure. Gabber is really fast.
What exactly happened there? You mentioned the crash. I don't know if we saw it on the live stream. There was so much action. Maybe even I missed it. So talk us through what happened.
We were racing with what is 13's number? Mikko Sarkkinen?
Yeah.
So I was racing with him, and through that very long right-hander complex. When we then switched to the left-hander on the first split, I thought I left enough space, but after the race, he said he was caught off guard by understeer, so he ran into me. There was some lag involved as well, so I flew out of the track a bit and also took damage.
Oh yes, now I know which incident you are talking about. We saw it on the live stream, and yeah, it was quite a hit. I think it was a bit more of a lag contact from what I have seen on the screen, but nevertheless, it was still a bit let's say unusual. Yeah, it was worth the penalty because of what it did in the end. So still, third place, very good results for you today. So well done, and let's see how you can do in New York.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carolus. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
We've got Cyril Basset in for an interview now. Cyril, how are you doing?
Well, very well, thank you. Pretty good result this week again, so really happy. Even though the qualifying wasn't exactly that good, I still managed to take advantage of one mistake from Gabor, so could start a little bit further to the front than I should.
Yeah, I was tipping you as my dark horse for this event. I was looking if you can manage another podium, and you improved your best position in this E-Challenge to second place. So how do you feel after a second place finish in the feature race?
Really good. I'm really happy to have been able to keep Carolis behind me. I had heard he had some incident in the beginning of the race, so it does count. But I still managed to keep him behind me and manage my energy. So really good result.
Yeah, the energy management played a big role because just after the halfway point, I think you were in P5. So you have been counting on you managing the energy and the attack boost so well that you can get past these drivers, do you think?
I'm not sure actually. In the beginning of the race, I probably overused a little energy compared to what I was planning to do anyway. I think I managed pretty well in the rest of the race, and I just had a bit of a scare on the last lap. I was monitoring my energy usage, and I knew I was right on target. But when I crossed the line, I saw about 3% left, and I thought, "Ooh, I won't make it." But with the regen, it's perfectly normal. So.
Yeah, I saw you mention it in the chat after the race that you crossed the line with 0% remaining. So good for you to have such a big gap that it didn't cost you the best position so far in E-Challenge for you. So congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, luckily Caris dropped a bit at the end, so even though I did run out before the end, I managed to keep my position. So. Good result.
How far was it from the finish line when you ran out of the energy?
I would say about 200 meters, or roughly halfway, I guess, from the exit to the finish line.
Yeah, so not that far. It was probably safe.
I think I was safe. I just braked a bit more to try and keep more battery to cross the line.
Yeah, so again, well done. Congratulations to your great results today, and see you in New York in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, thank you. See you next time.
Before you go, I do have some good news for you. You're going to be promoted from P4 in the championship to P3 after that result. So, got provisional results in after the feature race now, and it's Gabor leading with Carolis in second, Cyril your third, Timu fourth, and Imran Azar drops to P5 after the feature race.
Yeah, Imran not being here today was a
big hit.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thanks, Cyril, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. See you next time.
Well, no, this has been round 3 of the Portland E-Prix of 2025 Master Race Car E-Challenge. We have seen some good action, unexpected pole position after Gabor's mistake, new winner in this year's edition, and also improvement in standings. Imran Azar was missing from this race, so hopefully he will come back and claim his second position back, which was taken from him as well. And we are looking forward to the New York E-Prix in 2 weeks' time. Unfortunately, I will be on a vacation, so I hope Pete and Travis or someone else will stand in and take you through this race. So thank you for tuning in tonight, and see you soon again.
See you later.
Bye.